Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery. I'm 25 years old and I make videos all about personal finance and budgeting. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a December budget with me. First things first, I want to go ahead and say sorry for disappearing for the month of November. Honestly, the month of November, there wasn't anything like particularly difficult about it. It just felt like it flew by and I did not give myself enough time to film YouTube videos like I typically do. It just wasn't my main focus for the month of November, so it was hard to get back on making videos. And another thing I felt with why I had to take a break with making YouTube videos was since all of my content is like personal finance related, I honestly have just been feeling a lot of fatigue with my budget and with my finances. I'm at this point where I really wish I have my dreams and my goals outpace my income, which is a case for a lot of people, but for most people they're not sharing their finances on the internet. So sometimes it's hard when I'm sharing things that the more I talk about something, the more I'm dwelling on it, which may or may not be true. It might be more so that I need to work through those thoughts out loud. But in the month of November, I was kind of in the mindset of I am spending a lot of money. I don't really make as much money as I wish I did. But I feel bad for feeling bad about it because I'm still paying my bills and I'm saving a little bit. Which is better than what a lot of people might be experiencing right now. So I didn't want to get on here and just complain about something when ultimately my life situation at the moment is really not that bad. But just some financial fatigue was what I was experiencing, which is why I ended up taking the month of November off. Anyways, it's now almost December. It's the last month of 2023. I can't believe it's this year's come and gone so quickly. My opinions on this year, we'll just move on. I'll talk about that in a future video. But I really wanted to make sure I had a good financial foundation for the last month of this year. And so I can go into 2024 financially on the right foot, hopefully rein in some of my spending. I do have a lot of planned spending for the month of December, which kind of sucks because there's Christmas. I need to make my final cruise payment since I'm going on a cruise in 2024. My dog Cece, she's getting her spay in December, and I know that's going to cost a good amount of money. So all of that in combination with my regular monthly expenses, I'm not expecting to come out ahead in December, but I am grateful that I set aside money ahead of time to try and financially prepare for these big spending that I have to do. But yeah, let's just get into what this video is actually about. So we're going to be doing my December budget with me. Some background: I get paid once a month at the end of every month. So the money we're looking at here in the ready to assign is the money that I am getting in the end of November, and I'm going to budget towards the month of December. Another thing to note in my budget is I do have something that's called next month's spending. I set aside $2,000, and previously this used to be a goal I had to work towards, but I've also set aside $2,000 to a category called next month's spending. So essentially what I mean by this is I'm actually 1 month ahead with my spending if I need to be. What that means is I could use this $2,000 to cover my December expenses, and I could assign this money and ready to assign into January. I kind of just keep this next month's spending as that purpose instead. What that actually means is it's kind of like an extra month of buffer between that and my emergency fund if I end up ever losing my job or not working for some reason. Some background information on my budget, just in case you are new here. Another thing I need to point out before we get started is I use the budgeting software YNAB, or You Need a Budget. It does have a monthly or yearly subscription cost to it. I find that it helps me save way more money than I would save if I had used a different budgeting system or budgeting app. So I do recommend it. If it is something you want to try, there is a link down below for a 34-day free trial. If you end up subscribing using my link, you get an additional 30 days free. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off here, I have my focus on now category. So this category is basically straightforward slash self-explanatory. It is what I am focusing on right now. For the past few months since I got my puppy Cece, I've been focusing on pet related expenses primarily. I've also been focusing on vacation expenses. In the month of November, I did go to New York City for the first time. I loved it. Great experience. But I did have to put aside money for that, so that was why it was in my focus on now. I'm probably going to move it out of there because I don't have any big vacation plans until my cruise in March. And for March, I'm making my last payment in the month of December. So hopefully, which this is never going to be the case, still going to have out-of-pocket expenses in addition to that I'll need to cover, and I'll need to put money in this category. But in general, the primary expenses for the cruise should be covered after this month. All that to be said, I think I'm going to come back to the vacation category. For doggy daycare, I did end up taking Cece to, there's this place right by my house that does these free puppy play dates on Sundays. So she's actually there right now because I'm filming this video on Sunday. But she seems to be enjoying that so far. And basically the reason why we did that is because, one, I want to make sure that she has enough interaction with other dogs. She's had a lot of interaction with humans, but she needs to interact more with actual animals or dogs, really. So taking her there on the free play dates is good for that. That being said, after you do the free play date, if they pass the evaluation, there is the option for doggy daycare. I would like to take her a few times a few times a month. I can't afford weekly or anything like that. I did buy a 5-class pack back in October. I bought it maybe at the beginning of November, just in case I would have taken her, but I've actually haven't taken her for an actual full day daycare because she's just still very small. On Sundays, it's specifically puppies, so she's not really interacting with very big dogs that much, and they also separate them out by size. But yeah, that's a very, very long-winded explanation for why I'm not putting money in this category. I already have a 5-class pack for her on the account that I can start using whenever, and that should cover me through December. Yeah, this is probably going to be a pretty long and rambly video because I haven't talked to you guys or posted anything in a month and a half. So yeah, so for pet, I definitely need to put money aside for this. I just don't know how much. She has to go on the 16th for also side note, I have a 5-month-old Shih Tzu. Maybe I'll put a photo up on the screen, but I've posted her in other videos. But she has to get spayed in probably the month of December. She has to go in for some preventative blood work that this vet does to just make sure, I don't know, they just want to make sure her blood work looks fine before she gets a major surgery like a spay. And then after that, that's going to cost money. I don't know how much. It always seems like it's more than I want it to be, but it is what it is. Having a dog is definitely expensive. I want to do a video about how much I've incurred in expenses from when I got the dog through the spay. So stay tuned for that. Maybe that'll be an early 2024 video. Then after she gets the blood work, you have to leave a $200 deposit that goes towards the cost of the spay down. So assuming the very least that's going to happen in the month of December, so I'm probably out minimum $200, if not more. And then if she actually gets her spay done, it's going to be, I have no idea. They won't tell us a price either, which is kind of incredibly annoying, but maybe I'll ask again when she goes in for the blood work. And then she has to get a grooming done in the month of December, so that's probably $50 or $70. Things are adding up, to put it mildly, but I am putting money into this category, and my boyfriend will also be putting money into this. He sends me money on a weekly basis to help cover some of her expenses. We're not starting off very strong here. I'm just talking about all this thing I have to spend money on. Let's do an easy one. I know that rent is due on the 1st, so I'm going to put $672.50 aside for that. $672.50 for rent. Renter's insurance, I'm trying to build up a sinking fund for this. I pay it annually though. It's not due until July or August. So $20 for that. Household is stuff like paper towels, toilet paper, laundry detergent. I try to put aside $25, $30 a month for that. On utilities, I only thing I really have right now is my phone bill, which may or may not be a utility depending on who you ask. I use Straight Talk. It's fine. Maybe I should consider changing it to like Mint Mobile or something. But I might update this to the unlimited plan. If so, let's put aside $48 instead of the usual $37. Moving on from that, transportation is like my gas, my parking and gas are the main things for transportation. I typically put aside $100, but you can tell over here I have $48 already in this category, and I don't anticipate filling up my gas tank in the rest of November. So I'm trying to decide if I should just get this up to $100 or if I should go a little over. Maybe $75 or $80. That gets me up to $128.69, just in case I'm doing a little more driving than I normally do in December. For car insurance, I pay for this twice a year or biannually. So I set up a sinking fund in YNAB, which is nice because you can basically set up your target dates for this. So I know that I need this by March 6th of 2024. I know I need $500 is my best estimate. So it breaks it up for me into monthly chunks to make it more manageable. So that way, when March rolls around, I don't have to spend $500 that I didn't have and get stressed out. I should already be in my budget. So put this money aside for that. For auto maintenance, this covers things like oil change, yearly maintenance. Eventually, if I need new tires, hopefully there will be enough money in the sinking fund for that. But for now, I'm just going to put $50 a month into there. That seems to be pretty good for me. Health and fitness. So one of my goals for 2024 is to really beef up my medical category. It's just, so many expenses and not enough money. But the reason why I want to beef this up is one, because I do have some chronic medical conditions that require some monthly maintenance or upkeep. So that is one way I spend money in the medical category. Another way is just plain old co-pays and co-insurance, things like that. I need to make sure I have money aside for that. All that to be said, one of my goals for 2024 is I really want to beef up this category because in the middle of the year, I will be turning 26 and going off of my dad's insurance. So there's basically two things associated with that. One, my monthly income will go down slightly because I'll start paying my own medical premiums. And then two, my out-of-pocket max and my deductible will go up because my insurance is not as nice as my dad's insurance. So I really want to get to the point where I have a few $1,000s set aside in this medical category that essentially functions as a deductible. Like I will always have like the deductible set aside, for example. So all that to be said, how much money should I put in this category? I've been doing $130. I know that I have a monthly, I basically have a payment plan set up for some blood work I got done at the beginning of 2023. I'm still paying it off. That should be done in January. So let's do $200 and hope that's good. And if I have additional money, I will come back to it. Therapy, I'm currently at my out-of-pocket max for this year. So I don't need to set aside money for this, but it is something I need to start thinking about for January. So something to keep in mind. So another thing in my health and fitness category is my wellness category. So this is for my spin classes. I like to do spin or cycle for exercise. And it is costing me $119 a month. That is a discounted rate. I think a lot of places tend to be a lot more than this, like $169 I think might be my studio's regular rate. But I do get a discount through my employer, which is really nice. So for $119 a month, I try to go, currently I fell off for quite a bit because I just wasn't in the best mental headspace. But now I'm really getting back on this grind. My boyfriend is also coming to keep me accountable, which has been really nice of him. So he also has a membership now. But basically my main goal before the end of the year, above all else, is to reach 100 rides at the spin studio. I went on a ride this morning, so I'm at 84 out of 100 rides. I just need to get 16 more, which is about a ride every other day or so before the end of the year. I think I can do it. I've been really consistent lately, so yes, wish me luck. But I need to put aside $119 so I can continue going to the spin studio. I have talked about it in a previous video, thinking about getting a Peloton, but I really like the communal aspect of going to spin class. And for the Peloton, it would be like, I'd have to be paying for spin like the spin membership, and trying to save up money for the Peloton on the side. And I'm not really interested in saving that much money up for something when I could make it more of a monthly cost, I guess. Just where I'm at currently, maybe something will change. So moving on from that, let's go into subscriptions. I have a Canva Pro subscription. It's $12.99 a month. I need to make sure I'm making YouTube videos to make this worth it, but I'm gonna put aside money for now since here I am, I'm making a video. So $27.84 for my subscriptions. Those are just boring things like Apple Care, Spotify. My YNAB subscription, I save for this separately, so I'm putting aside $8.25 a month to try and get this up to, I think, $99. Moving on from that, let's go into sinking funds. I do have I think it's called an American Express Delta Sky Miles card or platinum or something like that. There is an annual fee associated with it. I do like this card. We did go on our first like free flight in the month of November from our miles that we have accrued, so that was nice. So there's definitely some good benefits to it, and that seemed to outweigh, I feel like they've already outweighed the $250 annual fee, because if I had bought those flights separately, it would have cost me like $400-$500. So that's good. But that to be said, I have this set up as a target date fund, or like, no, it's called a YNAB target. You can see over here, I need $250 by July 22nd, 2024. So I have already saved $83.36. So I need $166 left, and it's divided it up that I need to put $20.83 aside per month in order to reach that goal by July. Haircut, let me think about this one and come back to you. I've grown my hair really long. In this year, I've grown my hair really long, and I normally cut it to like just like a middle of the road length, not too long, not too short. But I just don't know if I could keep growing it out. Like, I am just getting tired of it, so I might get it a significant cut soon. So if so, I probably need like $85 for this. Christmas. So Christmas, I'm not saying I'm a Scrooge, but like, I am not in the Christmas spirit this year, just because I've spent so much money lately that I don't really feel like I have a lot of money. So I'm definitely in I don't know, a hoarding mindset, or I'm like trying to hold on to money, and getting paid monthly does not help this at all, because when you only get paid once a month, I kind of feel like I just am just like slightly stressed, slightly tensed. I don't usually have problems getting through the entire month. Like, I'm not running out of money before the next month, or before the next time I get paid, but it still makes me feel like, oh, I can't spend too much money. I only get paid once a month. Like, I'm not going to get paid for like 3 more weeks. So that kind of sucks. All of that to be said, I just don't know how much money I should put aside for Christmas. Well, maybe like, I don't feel like I don't want to get a lot of gifts because there isn't really a lot that I need, and I don't feel like giving a lot of gifts because I feel like people that I know that I typically give gifts to, like my family and my friends, don't really need anything from me either. I probably need, I'm sure I'll spend some money like on my nephew, and I'm gonna spend money probably on my office holiday party. So all of that hopefully that's enough. I have a tendency to always spend too much on Christmas, but as long as I'm in the ballpark, that should be fine. So savings, we'll come back to this one. I have no idea. So gifts, let's put aside $30 for this just in case. Well, let's do 50 because my mom's birthday is in the month of December. I almost forgot. Donations. Actually, I want to do another $50 towards gifts because I do want to do I'm trying to avoid a very specific word here because I feel like the bots just start swarming my videos if I did this the last time. I want to do a thank you to my followers or my subscribers this month, to just say thank you for like following my channel, for following along, for sticking with me even when I'm inconsistent. I'm not going to do it in this video, but stay tuned for that, and it should be pretty straightforward, but I need to put aside some money for that. For now, it's going to be $50. Donations, I have $50 in there currently. I might do another $50 soon. Roth IRA. So this is where I'm kind of like, I need to cover some other stuff first. So health, beauty, and clothing. Let's put aside the $75 to reach the target. Fun money, we'll do $125 for now. So something that going to New York really did for me, I live in the Midwest, so context here. New York is very, very, very different from the Midwest. But something that I realized about the Midwest is that I don't know if I want to stay here long term. So we might end up moving to a different city in 2024, 2025. Just something where there's more things to do. I don't really plan on having kids. So it's not like I need to be tied to like a good, not like I don't need to be in a bad neighborhood, but like I'm not tied to like how nice are the schools? Is this a good place to raise a family? Like the place that I live in is great to raise a family, but if I'm not planning on raising one, then it's not really the place for me. You see what I'm saying? So something that I've thought about, since if I do plan on leaving within the next year or two, is I really should take advantage of what the city does have to offer. And another thing is that I'm trying to get more, and maybe I'll talk about this more in another video, for like my 2024 goals, but I'm trying to get more just active and leaving the house. And it's really hard in the winter months to get stuck in a rut, or it's really easy to get stuck in a rut and not leave because it gets dark, it gets cold, you get tired. But all that to be said, I want I need to invest more in experiences. So what that means is like I need to put aside more money for that. Yeah, that took forever to say that I'm going to put 125 aside now and maybe come back to this if I have extra money. Stuff I forgot to budget for, $50. That's a pretty good amount for me. And then my student loans are $67.45. Oh, not that much is my minimum payment. Again, I'll probably talk about this more in my financial goals videos, but one of my goals is to kind of rein it in on how much I put towards my student loans, and I'll talk specifically more about that as to why my reasoning is in my goals video. So subscribe and stick around for that. So $67.45. Let's cover the minimum payment at least. And then I need to go back to food. I am trying out a meal delivery service again. I was using Home Chef for a while. I do like Home Chef. But I did want to try a different meal delivery service because when you take advantage of like the intro deals, it really brings down the price per box. So you might as well do that. And what's my other, I had another point for this. There's some other ones such as everyplate that seem to be a better value per meal. So I wanted to try it and see how I liked it. So I have that coming in the first week of December. But basically the first box is discounted, and then each box after that will be about $67. I'm not going to do it the month of Christmas, and probably not the first week of the new year. So I'm going to put aside at least $235, $60 for the everyplate. Let's just do a flat $300. And then dining out is just my problem child. I just love leaving the house and getting a little snack, getting a little dinner, getting a little dessert. It really is a problem for me. I just don't know how I want to do this. Maybe I should make it a weekly goal that I spend weekly. Let's do every Monday, $50. Kind of like gamify it. Oh, I don't know. $30 a week. What's that get me? $120. Okay, so we're just back to where we started. Let's just make it, there we go, $31.25 a week to make it $125 for the month. We will see. So I need to check and make sure I don't have anything underfunded. Transportation's underfunded, but I don't. Let's put the money aside just in case, because I have to pay for parking at my work, and I have some parking through the end of the year, but basically at the start of the new year, I'll have to figure out if I want to buy another monthly parking pass. Don't ask. Like, this is another thing about my job. Like, I don't make a lot of money for the work that I'm doing, especially in relation to the other people in the office and their salaries. I'm just working a role that's very intense. and stressful. So, but another thing that's annoying about this isn't specifically about like my team or my department or whatever, but about my employer at large, is that they don't pay for parking. You have to pay for it yourself. So it effectively lowers your yearly salary. So all that to be said, I try to avoid spending money on parking by parking on side streets, not on my employer's like, I don't know, their location itself on site. But that being said, my job is not very consistent on which days I come into the office and how often I come into the office. And with my dog Cece, I don't like to leave her home that long. So there was a lot of things that led to me buying a 2-month pass. Whatever. It's such a boring thing. The point is, I have to spend money on parking at my own job, which is so stupid. But yeah, I have $1,000.50 left. I need to put aside $300 into the pet category. Oh, I'm going to do 305 to get up to an even 700. I hope that's enough money. And then if my boyfriend sends me, how much is he going to send me? 50, 100, 150. I hope that's enough. I hope. I dream, I beg, I hope. That's enough to cover her, whatever they're going to do this month and whatever I got to spend money on this month. What else? So I want to put an extra bit towards my my fun category. So where is it at? Let's do another 145, which puts me at 270. I'm going to try not to use all of this, but I would like to try and build up this category and kind of treat it more like a sinking fund. Moving on from that, savings. Let's put money into vacation. Let's do 104. And then let's put this other $500 aside for my Roth IRA. I want to do more investing. Okay, so there's that. Let's take some money out of a category. Where's it at? I'm looking for the category. Do I need $550 for Christmas? $46 in saving. Donations. Don't want to touch that. 30. Let's pull some money off of the health, beauty, and clothing. And let's pull off 20 from the fun. That puts me at 5178. And I want to put an extra student loan payment to try and get me beneath. I fell underneath the 19,000 mark, and then interest has accrued this month, so I'm back above the 19,000 mark. So I'm trying to push below it again. But yeah. So every dollar has been assigned into my budget. So I officially have no more money until I get paid again in the end of December. So how exciting. Yeah, but thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please like it. It really helps out my channel. If you want to see more budgeting content for personal finance and budgeting, definitely hit the subscribe button and stick around. But yeah, otherwise I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. But otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Stick around I'm trying to post a lot of videos for the month of December. So let's cross our fingers and hope that I follow through. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.